for sports in Detroit.
Have a look again at the two-hander. Delorme, a good look at he's got two hands spread out on that lumber, and he whacks it right across the midsection in the hands of Randy Carlyle. Jets go on the power play.
Slash at 11:15 of the first period. Second power play for the Jets. Scoreless hockey game with 8:45 to go first period. The Jets with but 3 shots on goal. The Red Wings with 4. The reason for our Red Wing yearbook with Ray Lane on our next TV game is they don't start the games at the Brendan Byrne Arena this year till 7:45. That's when they'll drop the puck, so you won't miss any of the live action. And of course, you'll want to catch Ray Lane's yearbook, an update on what's happening with the Red Wings to that point in the season. Here's Boschman now in deep for Steen. Steen is checked, got off a shot. Here's Bird diving ahead, but Marois held it in. Sends it back to Steen at the top of the circle. Thomas Steen broken up by Bird, but he got it right back.
They're going to handle that puck.
Steen sends it in deep, and a good save there by Hanlon, although Boschman didn't get all of it. Boschman with a cross-check on Norwood.
Yes, cross-check, pretty good cross-check, too, and Norwood got to complain about that. I mean, he had the stick up chest high, and he smacked him right in the middle of the back.
I'll tell you what, I think Lee Norwood threw the puck over the glass.
Well, he did. He grabbed a hold of it, and then he just threw it over the glass in disgust because there was no penalty call. He whacked his right eye on the glass after he got cross-checked by Boschman. Watch what happens. There's grabs it, whack. His head goes smack into that plexiglass behind Hanlon, and he was upset.
You know, the referee must not have seen that, because you throw the puck into the stands, and that's a penalty. We saw it happen last year to Peter Klima.
First of all, he closed his hand on it. That's penalty number 1. And without a penalty being called on Boschman, then he really should have called a penalty on Norwood.
Yeah.
But neither guy gets pinned.
So there's a minute 28 left in Delorme's penalty. I think Maloney wants to know.
Sure. Oh, he's saying, what do you? I mean, what's going on? What are rules for?
Yzerman steps in against Howardchuk, who wins this face-off to Ellett. Howardchuk, that's broken up by Yzerman now. He has Barr with him, but the Jets get back quickly, and Yzerman just dumps it in on Pokey Reddick, who leaves it there for Carlyle. Exactly 8 minutes remaining in this scoreless first period. And Carlyle, number 8 for the Jets, will drive it off the boards in behind Hanlon. Hanlon couldn't stop that. Howardchuk has it in the corner, out in front for McBain. A backhand and a save made by Hanlon. Hallward played it up the boards. Carlyle knocks it down. Carlyle works it along the boards now for McBain. Andrew McBain in the circle. Now for McLean. Paul McLean. Back to Carlyle. Or the Jets move it quickly with a man advantage in deep. McBain and a save made there. Here's Ellett with a chance. That didn't get through. Barr will backhand it up the boards, but McLean will hold it in. Back for Howardchuk in deep. Howardchuk looking for somebody open. Wing staying in the box very well. Comes to Carlyle. He lets it go, and Barr went down to block that shot. Batted down by Ellett, but cleared by Barr.
Good job by Davey Barr and Yzerman out there.
Ashton and Bridgman now out there killing the penalty. Back at the line, Carlyle just does hold it in. Sends it in deep, intercepted by Norwood. He'll just dump it down the ice. 15 seconds left in the Gilbert Delorme penalty. The Wings got some help yesterday with the North Stars losing at home and the Maple Leafs losing at home. St. Louis did win. They stay within a point. They're moved back to within a point in Detroit. Boy, Hanlon with interference there on Ron Wilson that the referee let go. Penalty to Delorme has expired. No icing here. Ashton will get it first. Ashton is onside. Dumps it back to Shabbat at the line. Shabbat is checked, though, by Wilson. And Rooney sends it back for Wilson. Ron Wilson across the line. He'll wind up with a shot, and that was deflected by Beach. Ends up in the seats out of play. 6:24 remaining in the first. No score.
Hey, how you doing? Good. In fact, I feel like light. Hey. What the? Uh-oh. Oh, no. Well, I meant Bud Light.
If you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, ask for Bud Light, because everything else...
You all right? Sure, just a little lightheaded.
It's just a light.
Look at some of the action a moment ago while the Red Wings were still shorthanded. McBain, a soft backhander, but was on the target. There's a look at the collision in front. Paul McLean going into traffic, and Zombo and Hallward make him pay.
That's where Barr had gone down to block that puck way up into the air.
A couple of trades happened in the last few days here that we'll get to if we can. Kurt Fraser from the Hawks traded to Minnesota for Dirk Graham.
Here's Klima now trying to get loose. Bringing it up the left wing side. Holds up on Merwa, but lost the puck, and Rooney comes back the other way. Rooney met by Sharples, takes the shot. Hanlon juggles and holds on. He'll get the whistle now. And Mick, you mentioned that trade between Minnesota and Chicago within the North Division. Another trade, kind of a surprise involving, well, at least one prospect for the Hartford Whalers in their deal with Calgary.
Yeah, right now, without really knowing if there's anything strange behind it, and so many deals there are, the Hartford Whalers traded promising defenseman Dana Merzen. He's on my all-name team.
Yep.
Now he's in Calgary.
Another all-namer,
Shane Churla, yeah. Shane Churla, the tough guy, goes to Calgary. Those two go to Calgary for Neil Sheehy, the Harvard boxing champ, Kerry Wilson, the big centerman, and Lane McDonald, not Lanny McDonald. And you were telling me that, what, Lane McDonald was a fourth choice in '85
and went to Harvard,
and also went to Harvard.
So maybe there's some New England ties there with Lane McDonald and Neil Sheehy going back to Hartford.
Here's a look at the shield on Johnny Shabbat, covering up that ripped-up nose of his.
He's wearing the shield, and Ashton decided he doesn't want to wear it. Cut back to Kite at the line. Now Gilles Hamel backhands it. Hanlon the save. Hanlon being hooked by Boschman was able to get the puck clear, and it's sent back center ice. Jim Kite got it off there for Hamel. Drives it in off the corner board. Shabbat is there, being pursued by Neufeld. Now Hamel and Koser battle for the puck. Here's a lead pass. Zombo was blocked by Marawa. And the Jets come right back. Hamel, quick shot on the blocker, save there by Hanlon. Neufeld back for Hamel. Boy, he took the lumber from Zombo. Koser up the right wing, has it now. Plays it off the boards on the bank for Klima. Klima got by. Marawa sends it across. Here's Hallward with a chance and a save. Reddick, and Koser was dumped by Kite.
He may have hurt himself again.
Koser's had all kinds of problems this year. Missed a couple of games right out of the gate with an elbow injury. Then injured the sternum area. And then hurt his shoulder. Has missed a total of 12 games on the 3 different injuries.
Nice play by Klima back here. I thought he was going to go. There's the dump. See, Kite dumped Koser, and he came down on that shoulder, chest area, right next to the goalpost, in behind the goalie. John Ferguson, the general manager of the Winnipeg Jets, will be my guest in the first intermission. Maybe we'll get John's thoughts on that trade, which, of course, will affect the Smythe division, being Calgary.
Talk at the beginning of the season of this Winnipeg team challenging Edmonton. Of course, it's Calgary's number that Winnipeg seems to have, especially in the playoffs. Jets knocked off the Flames last year.
Fergie has a private booth down to our left, and they had to put a plexiglass in front of it because he was throwing chairs a la Bobby Knight onto the ice and throwing all kinds of stuff out. He's a fiery guy, off the ice as well as on.
You throw a chair from here, and it's going to get some attention.
It's going to hurt, right? That's Fergie. That's the way he played the game, too, in Montreal.
Brad Berry sends it up the right wing. McBain got it to the line and out of there. Gallant couldn't hold it up. Now here comes Berry. Has Ellett trailing the play. Ellett is onside. Sends it across. And a big save by Hanlon. Right at the side of the net on Brad Berry. The 2 defensemen broke in for the Jets. Comes back to Ellett. Lets it go. Tip. A save by Hanlon. He didn't know where it was after it.
Laying on his left pad, David. He had the blocker up sideways, and it hit it and laid right down there on the side of his left pad to keep this game right there at 0-0.
How could you think that you know what I'm gonna do? Baby, you don't let them fooling yourself. I've been around and I've learned me a thing or two. I've been a man since before I was 12. Ain't nobody like me, better believe I got the right to choose. Strength to fit and button fly me. Levi's got the 501 blues.
Get them at JCPenney, your headquarters for Levi's 501 jeans.
Back at the Winnipeg Arena, look at this opportunity here. Good stop there by Hanlon. It trickled off and may have just got a piece of the goalpost. And then a redirection. Look at that right there. Nice low shot right on the ice. It's up on the left pad, on the side of the goal pad.
Draw control by the Jets. Berry lets the shot go. Hit the post. Comes right out for Steele.
Post again.
And that hit the other post. Norwood swept it back behind Hanlon. Delorme will rub Steen into the boards. Now McBain is checked by Norwood. The 2 of them go down. Smale comes up with the puck. Send it back for Steen. It's tipped away to the line and out of the zone. Sent back in offside. Boy, goalposts are a goaltender's best friend. And
Hanlon's head was on a swivel that time. On one side, he got up, turned around, it was going the other way. Hit both goalposts on 2 different shots.
Don't know whether he gets a piece of the second shot before it hits the post. We'll get a look at it. There's the first
one dropped. knuckleball style drop. See, now he turned around the other way at 360. By that time, Smale had teed it up, and it was coming back at Hanlon. By the time he got a beat on it, it hit the other goalpost. And Hanlon's buddies are with him tonight.
4:25 remaining here in the first period. Scoreless from the Winnipeg Arena. Al Howard plays it up the boards, bouncing puck. Taglianetti kicked at it, but it came out center ice. Murphy pokes it ahead, but Steen is back for the Jets to get it. For McBain, drives it right back in, wide of the net. Hanlon is there. Hanlon sweeps it up the boards. Ashton bumped there, but here's Barr. Poked it back to the Winnipeg line. Taglianetti's pass was stopped there by Howard. Carlisle back for Taglianetti. Hasn't been much pressure down here to our right in the Jet zone in the last few minutes after the Wings had that two-man advantage for better than a minute and 15 seconds.
Detroit's only got 5 shots on goal, David.
Hamlin played it all the way down the ice. Wings were on a change. A big Jim Kite back to get it for the Jets. Sends it ahead now for Marois. Marois dumping it across the wing zone. Hamlin coming out. Moved it away from Duncan. Knocked down by McLean. Got it to Howard-Chuck. Wheels and a save by Hamlin. He got back because he knew Howard-Chuck would not waste much time in delivering that shot. Comes back to the line for Marois. Little backhand pass for Duncan. Back for Marois. He slid it in wide. McLean behind the net. He is checked. It comes to Howard-Chuck. Tried to wrap it in front. Good play by DeLorme to get over and help out. Here's Higgins now. Sends it ahead for Bridgman. If he catches up to it, he's got Burr with him. Bridgman for Burr. And a save by Reddick. Redirected by Burr and Pokey Reddick. Made the save. Here comes Howard-Chuck streaking up for a shot into the glove of Hanlon. Oh, and then Hanlon run into there. Hanlon is down. The Jets dump it in front, but it's all red as DeLorme was there. Here comes Higgins now. Little drop pass for Bridgman. Bridgman has Burr with him. Bridgman to Burr on a save by Reddick. Next one hits the post. It's underneath his feet, and he covers up.
Goal post galore tonight. One end to the other. Hanlon's KO'd down at the other end of the ice, and the Jets have a good chance, and back comes Higgins. Bridgman drop it to Burr, and he gets a couple of whacks at it, and he wraps it off the goal post to the right of Reddick, and he almost kicked it in his own net. Much Dale Howard-Chuck a moment ago just wheeled around and let her go. Then Hanlon ready for it. Good DeLorme with that strength upper body. Pretty good body check into Ian Duncan there in the corner, and there's the redirection by Burr.
Chance right here for Koser, and Reddick sliding across makes his best save. That was set up nicely, and Koser did the right thing. The only thing is, Mick, I just don't think he was bearing down on it enough.
Well, right off the faceoff again. Johnny Shabbat lost a couple of big faceoffs back in Minnesota last week and very upset with himself. Seems to be controlling them a lot better tonight in the last couple of games.
Shabbat and Boschman. Boschman very good on the draws.
He's going to get kicked out again, too. And sure enough, there he goes. Shabbat stays, but Boschman goes because he was too anxious. Kept jumping that stick around there. Mark Perry says, take a hike, guy.
So Neufeld will step in. Neufeld won the faceoff.
Not like the right winger to do that.
No. Especially with the delicate hands of a Ray Neufeld. No harm in there, Riggs. I know you had a hat trick the other night in Los Angeles. Sometimes just the strength will do it. Puck comes into the Detroit zone. And Beach, that did not connect, but no icing here. It came right down on Reddick. But they had waved it off anyway. Now Barry back behind his own net as we come down on 2 minutes left in this scoreless first period. Both teams have had their chances, more so the Jets. Hitting a couple of goal posts. Now here's Klima across the line, one-on-one against Ellett. Let's go, the shot and the save made by Reddick with that blocker up around the shoulder area. Comes out to the line. Beach couldn't hold it in, but Hallward has it. Hallward dumping it in. The crowd reacting. They wanted a too many men on the ice penalty, but it won't be called. 1:46 to go. Scoreless first period.
Michigan's largest outdoor power equipment dealer since 1945 is Weingarts in Utica. To help you get ready for the long winter, Weingarts offers this area's largest inventory of Honda snow throwers, like the Honda HS35 for tough jobs outside the house, now only $449 while supply lasts. Or the HS55 for large snow cleaning jobs is only $899 while supply lasts. Be prepared now for the winter ahead with Honda snow throwers at Weingarts, a half mile off M59 in Utica. Weingarts services what they sell.
Back live at the Winnipeg Arena. Dave Strader along with Mickey Redmond, Toby Cunningham. Across the street, TV studio tonight.
He made the right turn, did he?
Yeah. 1.5 remaining in this first period. Doug Smale now for the Jets across the line. He drops it off for McBain. McBain holds, works his way in. Hell, save. And Hallward tied up Smale. Comes to McBain again. Lays it out to the point. Carlisle laid it back up the boards, knocked down by Yzerman with a high stick, and then he played it. So the whistle blows.
Well, a good stop by Hanlon right there on McBain with just 1:15 to go. He walked in by himself. The Jets seem to be controlling the offensive corners. The drop pass, and watch McBain thread his way through here. Fakes the shot, and ends up right in front of Hanlon. Probert had a piece of him, but not enough. He got a very good scoring chance.
Shots now 13-8 favoring the Jets. And those 13 shots don't count the 2 times that Smale hit the post. The post shot is not a shot on goal. No icing here, so Yzerman racing with Carlisle. Probert cruising into the offensive zone. Yzerman behind the net, laid it to the side of the goal. Now McBain and Probert, they battle. Probert wins the battle for the puck, but now Taglianetti ties big number 24 up. Now McBain for the Jets. Plays it up the board. Steen is there. Thomas Steen, number 25. Across the line has Taglianetti with him. Now it comes to Smale. Smale lets it go, and a glove save. Hanlon, he hangs on.
Well, the Jets continue to come after the Red Wings. 15-8 shots on goal, but the Jets have had several excellent scoring chances. That rolling puck again, and Smale just hauls off and whacks it instead of waiting for it to sit down. Hanlon just got the trapper on it to the far side. I don't think that shot was on goal to begin with, but it was too close for Hanlon to let go.
Pistons will battle the team that many say will give them the biggest challenge this season for first place in the division, the Atlanta Hawks, Tuesday night. TV 50 will be on hand to bring you every play. George Blaha, Tuesday night live from the Omni at 8 o'clock. Here on TV 50, your choice for sports in Detroit. Face off to the right of Hanlon. Love to hear that Blaha call a game with Vinnie Johnson throwing up his leaners and variety of other shots. Higgins now, center ice, dumps it in wide of Reddick. Bridgman and Marois bumped together. Puck came loose. Higgins was hooked to the ice by Kite, but the referee knew him. Didn't see it, let it go. Now Ian Duncan sends it across. 25 seconds left in the period. Here's Marois, 22 for the Jets. Lets one go wide of Hanlon. Hanlon very confident that was off the mark. Let it go. Delorme plays it to his defense partner Norwood. He spots the open man Higgins, who's just going to check Kite. Now that puck rolls back into the Jet zone.
Could do it, but 5 seconds left. Marois is just going to go back behind the net and let time run out here in the first period. And a very strange first period of play. A lot of chances for the Jets. 16-8 shots on goal. Some great scoring chances for Winnipeg. A few by Detroit, but all in all, a pretty tight period of hockey, as it was a lot of pileups and a lot of bodies in front of both goaltenders.
When we come back in our first intermission, Mickey Redmond will be talking with an old teammate of his early in his career with the Montreal Canadiens, now general manager of the Winnipeg Jets, John Ferguson. We'll have that, of course, Ray Lane, and much more in our first intermission. Don't go away.
Oh, yeah. It's a classic, all right. Puts you in the fast lane with its great performance and reliable. It gets you around those tight spots. Michigan Bank Card from Michigan National Bank. It's got the power you need, and it handles like a dream. That's why more people ride with Michigan's #1 card, Michigan Bank Card. It's more than a charge card. Open it up and leave the others behind. Dial 1-800-CALL-MNB.
If you gotta go because of life's on the line, you better have it. Champion Battery. If you gotta go when it's 20 below, you better have it. Champion Battery. If you gotta go because the stork's arriving, you better have it. Champion. 700 cold cranking amps. Pound for pound the most powerful battery you can buy. Guaranteed to start your car. Champion. You better have it.
Save $20 at Montgomery Ward Auto Express.
There's a whole new look in men's pants, and JCPenney has it.
Who remembers their actual first girlfriend? Her name was Louise. Went to a makeout party.
Levi's Dockers. In fabrics and colors you've got to see to believe.
I would have done better, but I was bald then, too.
Levi's 100% cotton Dockers. If you're not wearing Dockers, you're just wearing
My first kiss, I remember.
Was there a girl involved?
There was a girl involved.
In everyone's life, there's the summer of 42.
In the men's department at JCPenney.
Go over Jeep Cherokee's advantages, and certain things stand out.
Cherokee gives you a choice of 2 or 4 doors, 2 shift-on-the-fly 4-wheel drive systems, and an optional 4-liter 6-cylinder engine that's more powerful, far more powerful than anything in its class. All of this is precisely why 4-Wheel and Off-Road magazine named Jeep Cherokee 4x4 of the year for the 2nd time.
Back live at the Winnipeg Arena. First 20 minutes have gone by, and the Wings and the Jets scoreless. And standing by right now with Mickey Redmond, a guy that was a teammate of Mick's in Montreal, instrumental in 5 Stanley Cups with the Canadiens, and 5 times he's been an executive of the year. Now as general manager of the Winnipeg Jets, John Ferguson, standing by with Mickey Redmond. Mick?
Thank you, David. Yes, 5 Stanley Cups, John, and of course your goal right now is to bring a Stanley Cup to Winnipeg. First period of play a lot different than the last time Detroit and Winnipeg played at Joe Louis Arena.
Well, that was a real shootout that night. We had a lot of chances in the first period. We took a real dumb penalty, Ronnie Wilson, when Howard had that breakaway killing a penalty. But that's what you got to do nowadays. It seems you have to have an offensive player killing penalties and a defensive player. And unfortunately, either it was a dive or a bad mistake by Wilson, but it cost us a goal.
John, with the rules that they're calling today, do you think it's a plus or a minus for the Winnipeg Jets? A lot of penalties now being called, and we talk every game now about the importance of shorthanded situations on your power play.
Oh, I think it's a real minus for the whole league. You know, I'm watching, you pick up a box somebody next morning, 13 power plays like Washington had the other night. We go into Vancouver the other night. We played almost 2 periods of hockey with 10 players. We had 5 players thrown out, and we had others in the penalty box for 17 minutes with Misconnex, the majors and minors, and we've got too many penalties. Mick, they're calling penalties in the neutral zone, 50 feet away from the play. And that's not the whole intent of what we were trying to do, and we try to clean the game up a little bit, and they're all calling it. They're persistent and they're consistent because they keep calling them.
They're certainly not the kind of penalties they might have called in your day or my day, but some might think that, of course, with Dan Maloney, the tough guy, and John Ferguson, the tough guy, with management control of the Jets, you've got to have a tough team to maybe reflect your personalities. But certainly the penalties that you're talking about are ones that you don't like to see as a GM or coach because they're hurting you in the offensive zone, unnecessary type penalties.
Well, that's quite true. And there's so many unnecessary penalties. Last year we led the league in killing penalties. This year we're leading the league on power plays. So it's probably a good trade-off, but 5-on-5 hockey is very seldom seen.
Fergie, around Christmas time and the holidays, a lot of tournaments going on. Tell me about what the Winnipeg Jets have with youngsters, European and Canadian-American boys in Izvestia, the junior tournament. Some good kids coming up?
Yes, we do, Mickey. We got a pretty good talent pool yet to come. We've got a couple of boys with the Finland National Juniors, Palasari and Teppo Numminen, who I will bring in here next year. Patrick Eriksson with Sweden, and Michigan State. We got Clements and Danton Cole there, and you know, a young goaltender at University of Michigan, Furlan, and we're covered pretty well in tournaments around the country. And you know, we got 3 players to the U.S. Olympic team. John Blue, one of the goaltenders, and Brad Jones, who played at University of Michigan, and of course Guy Gosselin, who played at Minnesota Duluth. So we're well situated there too, and we've got a pretty good base and a lot of players in tournaments.
John, what are your feelings on the tournament coming up, the Olympics in the spring? Should the NHL be sending players, or do you feel obligated to put players on the Olympic program?
Well, it's all depends on how we are at that time of year. You know, one of my best players, I think our second best player, Frederick Olofsson, he got hurt in the Canada Cup early in training camp, and here we are at the 37th game for the Winnipeg Jets, and I still haven't got him back. And he generates, he'll be an impact player when I get him back. You know, it's a situation, should the pros play? Well, we've all got a business to run. They did pretty well at the Investia tournament, winning it, Canada, I mean. And but I'm sure that we'll be very patriotic and see what we can do in loaning him a player.
Fergie, to close it out here a little bit, Joe Kocur of the Red Wings is a guy that fashioned himself, I think, after John Ferguson of the old days. And Kocur, I know, has very bad hands. And you had problems with your hands. You fought a lot in the NHL in your day. And if you had some words of wisdom, if you had Kocur on your hockey club, what would you tell him about protecting those hands?
Put him in brine all the time, keep toughing him up. I guess my knuckles were shot pretty good at the end. And but nevertheless, you got to look after your hands because you got to make them good and strong.
You know that you didn't have helmets to bang on like Kocur did. Very few guys wore them in our day.
Oh, I tell you, those helmets, they drop 50-pound hammers on them now. They don't crack, so it's pretty tough with the hands.
Fergie, how about the horses? You had a lot of them when you were in Montreal. You still in the horse business?
Oh, yeah, very big in the horse business. And, you know, right now we're patiently waiting for, you know, the yearlings to come around, and I'm breaking colts, and we'll be into a hot summer.
John, thanks very much for visiting with us. I know you're used to Winnipeg weather by now. We're not, but it's cold weather, and of course you're hoping the Jets warm up and do something in this Mice division. Thanks much.
Thank you very much, Mick.
General Manager John Ferguson looking to bring the Stanley Cup to Winnipeg in the future. We're at the end of one. No score in the hockey game. We'll be back with highlights in just a moment.
Original party animal.
That's Spuds. He is the party.
So go, Spuds, go!
These happy faces are being brought to you by picture-picture photo processing at Arbor Drugs. If you'd brought your film to Arbor and gotten overnight service and a free extra set of prints, you'd be happy too. These insurance cards and more are all honored by Arbor Drug Stores. So the next time you need a prescription filled, make it easy on yourself. Come to Arbor, because we not only welcome almost all insurance plans, we also welcome you.
Red Wing Hockey, brought to you by the Michigan State Lottery. Somebody's going to win. Why not you? By U.S. Sprint, building America's first all-fiber optic network. By Yamaha, built for the fun of it. By Coca-Cola, you can't beat the feeling. And by Arbor Drug, home of Picture Picture and the Picture Picture Club.
WRIF has been Detroit's home of rock and roll for 16 years because we're the one radio station that listens to you. You said, get rid of the head-banging heavy metal. We got rid of it. You said you want us to play more great rock and roll by Mellencamp. Yes, you do. Springsteen, Winwood, and Genesis. You got it. The metal's gone. Great rock lives on at Detroit's home of rock and roll. 101 FM, WRIF.
I run every day, and I know what happens when these roads get bad. So when I had to buy tires, I looked at them all. You know what impressed me? Michelin's all-season radio. It's called the XA4. It really holds the road. The handling's great, and because it's Michelin, you know it's gonna last. Believe me, only Michelin radials are going between us and this road.
Stop by Bell Tire for your free 12-point safety inspection for the best deal in town. For over 65 years, it's Bell Tire.
Back live at the Winnipeg Arena, first intermission, scoreless hockey game between the Jets and the Red Wings. And Mick, I guess when you have a scoreless first period, highlights are going to be at both ends of the ice and the nets.
A little bit light on the scoring highlights, obviously, but as John Ferguson said, the Winnipeg Jets had some very good chances. That one right there, we're looking at Davy Barr with a good opportunity, but for the most part, I'd say the Jets really had the pressure on the Detroit Red Wings. Here's another opportunity by Hallward. Koser being roughed up a little bit by Kite down to our right. And back come the Jets the other way. Howard-Chuck had several chances. This is a breakaway that was nullified, actually, as the puck went in the net. See, Howard-Chuck with that little sweep. He tried to fool Hanlon, thinking he was going to make a move with it, and he just swept it back into the middle and went for the between the legs and the five-hole, as they call it. But the play nullified at center ice with a bad penalty, really, for Wilson to take. He didn't have to interfere with Jeff Sharples at the time. Howard-Chuck would have been one-on-one with the goaltender anyway. So that was about really, you know, the best opportunity they had. But Hanlon had a very good, strong period. As you can see there, Winnipeg 16 shots on goal, and Detroit just 8.
All right, so a scoreless first period. We'll be back with second period action in just a moment.